All right, did you enjoy your message from Sirius? There will be more messages to come, more blending to come, and we will begin now through the explorations we shall have in these question and answer interactions.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
This is happy birthday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the equivalent date in your calendar to the idea of the date of my birth in my reality. We thank you very much. 1111 has been expressed in your reality also as a reflective gateway and a vortex through which you can allow yourself to pass more smoothly from one paradigm and one parallel reality to another, and that always is cause for celebration.
Thank you. This is the third time that I've been called this weekend.
Again, we love the number 3.
I thought so. I was wondering what the synchronicity of that is for me and if it has any correlation, of course, to you guys.
It does.
And
in forming a perfect equilateral triangle energy with yourself by allowing this interaction to occur thrice, you give yourself an opportunity to create a very powerful reflective permission slip symbol using the equilateral triangle, similar to the ways in which we use it. But you will have your own unique experience of this. But if you begin to explore in your imagination how to use the equilateral triangle in different ways, in different colors, in different presentments in your imagination, you will find that you will lock onto something that is similar to what we have described as our euphemistic phone number, if you will. And thus then by using it and coloring it in your own unique way, you will find it can be a very powerful permission slip for you to open the gates to more connection to your higher mind and your own future self.
Thank you. I will call you through my artwork.
Artwork is the key for you. And in this way, as you explore a new paradigm in expressing your artwork in a new way, it will open up new dimensions. Do you understand that artwork is a mirror?
Yes.
All right. The more you carry through when you have the expression of your art, this concept that it is a mirror of all those who look upon it, you will find yourself capable of creating holographic works that will touch many in a variety of ways on a different number of levels. And each person, no matter who they are, that looks upon that work will get something very unique and very different out of it, even if they seem to be completely polarized extractions.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I wanted to know a little bit more about, you talked about the crystals, the crystal artwork on your planet.
Yes.
And that each crystal of a certain civilization has a seed energy that the crystal is created with.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what humanity's seed creation energy is.
That has not been completely determined yet because your crystal is not part of that array yet. You are just beginning to become an honorary member of the Alliance, the Interstellar Alliance, and one day you shall have a crystal there. But it has not been created yet. We are all now in the process of creating that crystal together.
That's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
I like that a lot.
We will also, later on in this transmission, during the holotope experience, express to you a different understanding of crystals from the serious point of view.
Yay! I love crystals. I've been more attracted to them even more so lately.
Then this holotope experience shall be accelerating and uplifting for you in many ways.
Thank you. I would like to express my vulnerability by giving one of your 3-minute pitches as a jumping forward, as you've said this weekend.
If you wish to do this now, you are certainly welcome to do so, though you do not have to.
Okay, but I can, like for practice.
If you are willing to express the concept of vulnerability as power, by all means go ahead.
I will do so. Okay.
Start.
Okay. So I recently went on an adventure by going to London for a month, and it was to stay with my mom and create artwork. That was the initial intention to go, was to create artwork.
That was your call to adventure.
That was my call to adventure.
And by the way, not meaning to interrupt you, you can take less than 3 minutes if you wish with these pitches. We are simply telling you that 3 minutes is the maximum amount of time you have.
Perfect.
But if you are capable of being far more efficient in what your society refers to as an elevator pitch, the time it takes to tell someone a story and the time it takes to go from one floor to another, then by all means be as efficient as you wish to be. So you have answered the call to adventure to do your art in London. That is part one. What are the challenges?
The challenges that came up had nothing to do necessarily with the art. I remembered my concurrent life as part of the Illuminati, and so a lot of darkness came up for me. And so
How exciting!
It was really exciting.
And
so I got to look at all of it.
All right.
And I went.
And then
I redefined it.
that is the transformation.
Yes.
You took the opportunity to look at all of your definitions and choose definitions that are more in keeping with who you prefer to be and allow them to work for you, yes?
Yes.
All right.
And so in that transformation, I moved more to a collective automatic. And so I moved to seeing myself as my government, and seeing myself as not just an individual, but as a collective, and knowing that I am choosing light. And
Yes.
that's what I would like.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
A lovely story.
Thank you. Do you have any feedback of how I could... I don't know how this works.
Telling of the story is how it works, but there will be more to this format in the time to come in 2013. But for now, we applaud your boldness in being willing to be the first one to pitch.
You're my favorite person to pitch to.
And you, by doing so, have become your own bridge.
Thank you. I think the only other question that I would have would be about my bridging to the hybrid children and being somewhat of an ambassador for them.
We will talk a little bit more about this in your upcoming December 21st and 22nd time frame transmission.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Greetings, Bashar.
And you good day.
A very happy solar return to you.
And thank you.
I come to you with an open heart and thank you and express much gratitude for your offering for us to be honorary members of the Interplanetary or Intergalactic Alliance. And thank you for being a galactic super friend to us.
Do I need a costume?
I like the Hawaiian shirts.
Oh, all right.
I have a deep passion for climbing mountains.
Yes.
And resonate to one here in California called Mount Shasta.
Yes.
I'd like to know
the
more.
crown chakra of the planet.
Yes. I'd like to know more about what that frequency is holding right now and the opportunity to connect to the transmissions or the energetic vibrations that are coming through that portal.
The opportunity that is there at the peak, at the pinnacle, is to understand that there is another mountain of energy above it, upside down. And thus then when you reach the peak this way in physical reality, you begin to expand in non-physical reality this way.
That's very interesting.
We think so.
Yes. So
it is similar to the idea that your crown chakra in your body is actually expressed as an upside down cone.
Yeah.
Because it connects directly to the idea of the higher mind.
Mm-hmm. On a previous visit there, I very much came into the flow and synchronicity of Saint Germain and the violet flame.
Yes.
Can you expand on that presence in that
location?
The
violet vibration, obviously, a very high frequency energy. And what we are saying is, by climbing that peak, whether literally or metaphorically, And by experiencing that upside down cone and connecting from the physical peak to the energy point that touches that physical peak and thus expands upward, just as you create the idea of the crown chakra to be an upside down cone that touches the crown of your body and expands upward into the higher mind, so too, by thus then literally or metaphorically arriving at that Shasta peak and beginning to make the connection to the upside down energy cone, you are connecting to the higher mind of the entire planet.
Thank you.
The collective consciousness is expressed in that upside down cone. The higher mind of your entire world is represented by that violet vibration.
Thank you. I've also come in contact with a lot of Archangel Michael energy
Yes.
in that area as well.
Yes, well, many different kinds of vortices will open in that area to connect you to many different kinds of expressions of the higher mind and levels of consciousness beyond.
Okay, thank you. I've gone through some surgery that I would say would have been a potential crossing point.
All right.
I want to know, did I enter a parallel reality or have one of the experiences that you talked about yesterday where you'd actually die and then enter a new reality and not know it?
It is more that you simply allowed yourself a greater degree of shift rather than the idea in the classic sense of dying.
Okay.
You had a soul quake, if we can coin this term,
Okay.
so that your vibration, your soul vibration, shifted to a slightly higher degree than it normally would have, allowing you to recrystallize yourself with a slightly different personality that is more representative of a new parallel reality that is somewhat more different than it otherwise normally would have been had you not created that permission slip experience gateway.
I see. Do I have any messages from guides or other luminous beings that had communicated with me while I was in a state of suspension?
Many messages were delivered, and thus then they will, shall we say, leak out of you at the appropriate timings.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help you?
It does, thank you.
Thank you.
And I've also come in contact with another ambassador who has mentioned two different star connections for me, the Yahonian and Arcturian.
Yes.
Is there any message or intention that's coming through from connections in either of those points?
Synchronistically, the Arcturus gate, which is one of the energy vortices through which many individuals are now being born on your planet so they do not forget as much anymore, and why many of the children are what you call indigo children now, is connected also to this particular date right now, 11/11, because it is a gate of reflectivity. So today is also a very strong Arcturian frequency date. In terms of the other one, it is not our job to define that one for you. Others will give you that information.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you speak about the eclipse that's going to be taking place on the 13th?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much for
Thank
being here.
you.
Greetings and blessings, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
You were talking earlier about turning questions into exclamation marks.
Yes.
Wonders. Wonders? We have been led to believe that we learn by asking questions.
Yes. We understand that. We are not taking that process away from you. What we are simply letting you know is that if you have the capacity to ask a question, the answer must lie within you somewhere. And therefore the process and the journey is in asking the question to lead you into yourself and to your synchronicity to discover that the answer has always been within you, even if you represent it as being discovered outside of yourself. We're just expressing and describing the mechanism to you. We are not in any way, shape, or form taking away the process if that is what you wish to experience.
Aren't all questions are silly and foolish?
Why?
Because we have all the answers within.
But the whole idea is self-discovery. Remember, the reason you chose to forget, The reason you chose to create questions was so that you could have the experience of discovering yourself from a different point of view. So they are not silly in that context. In many cases, it is simply that you are becoming more efficient in that discovery process. This is what we are describing, is a collapsing of the process, an efficiency in the process, whereby you ask the question and more quickly realize that the answer is within you. But it still allows you the opportunity to experience the discovery of another aspect of yourself from a different point of view. So in that context, it is not foolish, it is not silly.
Thank you.
Does that help you?
Yes, it does. Blessed be the confused and silly and foolish.
Yes. For they shall discover themselves anew.
How many of others from Esasani are in on the conversation, our session with us?
It will fluctuate from time to time, but there are times when all 257 million are.
Wow. Bashar,
Yes.
why are we led to believe that...
You keep saying led. Rather, why do you choose to believe?
That is so. Why do we choose to believe that it is good for us to consume the flesh of other sentient beings for our survival?
It is a way to absorb energy that exists within the concept of the physical experience. There is nothing inherently negative in this. It is simply a reflection of certain ideas, and bit by bit you will lose those ideas. You will change those ideas. You will transform those ideas. But do not in any way, shape, or form diminish what they are and the exchange that they represent by defining them in a negative way, because that, in a sense, is what causes them to be problematic. If you form a relationship of gratitude with the idea of all that is consumed, you will understand that in many ways you are being consumed as well.
Huh. How so, please?
You see, you ask a question. Not silly or foolish. When you absorb other beings in that way, there is actually an absorption taking place in the other direction. You may think in some ways that you are absorbing them on a one-way street, but by absorbing them into your energy, you are being more and more absorbed into the natural world that they represent.
Amazing.
We think so.
The dream I had about two beings I witnessed communicating telepathically with each other.
Yes.
And I was the observer of it.
Yes.
Who were they?
Friends.
From where?
Hybrid civilization. That is representative of something in what you would call the future.
And it was amazing, and I can never forget this.
Why should you?
Bashar.
Yes.
How can I serve your society best?
By being yourself as fully as you can. Because by thus then acting on your highest joy and expressing yourself as fully as you can in the way you were created to be as your natural core vibration, you are increasing the opportunity to allow us to interact with you more by meeting us halfway. And by doing so, then you expand our experience of family.
Thank you. You are a family.
Yes, we are.
And I'm a part of you.
And you are, and we are, absorbing each other. You are very tasty.
Blessings to all of you and all of us.
Thank you.
Thank
And you
you
as well, our unconditional love.
Thank you.